Hey there, today we're making chili cornbread. My sous chef today is my son Sam, most of you know him. And this is kind of a request of his. He wanted to learn how to make cornbread, so we figured we'd do that together today. Of course, you notice the gear. It's the day of the game. So, you know, we're gonna sneak out of this and try to watch some of the Buckeye game as we're going. Sam, you're gonna start with the dry ingredients.
So we're starting it off with a cup of flour that we have in our dry bowl here. From there, we're gonna go ahead and add 3/4 cups of cornmeal to the mix. We'll be adding our baking powder here.
It's 2.5 teaspoons. I measured that one, so God, I hope I did it right.
A little bit of salt.
3/4 of a teaspoon. And then we're using 2 tablespoons of sugar. If you like yours more sweet, you can add more, but I don't really like mine very sweet.
And we're gonna go ahead and whisk the dry mixture right here. Just get it all blended.
Perfect. I grew up eating more southern style cornbread, which is not sweet at all, but it's also kind of dry. So we're going with something that's a little more middle of the road today. Looks good, bud.
So you'll mix it together, and then what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna build a little divot in the middle so that you can put your wet ingredients in there. Just allow a little pocket for what we're gonna be adding next, which is we have some eggs here, beaten.
2 of them.
And then we'll be adding,
That's a cup of milk.
and we got a 1/4 cup of canola oil to finish off that.
Now I'll let you handle the rest of this and get that all blended.
Go ahead and blend that together.
And excuse me, don't let me be a distraction. We got chili going too.
It is game day.
Yeah, that video's for a different day.
All right. Then once we get everything blended properly, we're gonna go ahead and pour that down into the divot that we created in the middle.
You got this.
We'll go ahead and give it some stirs just to get everything all blended together.
I'm gonna call Sam from now on when I want to make cornbread. He's more meticulous than I am.
So we'll just continue to stir until we get all of that fully incorporated into the mixture. Start thickening as you get through it. Just make sure you're scraping the sides of the bowl so you can get all the dry ingredients mixed in.
Maybe next time I'll be the sous chef.
All right, and I want to stir it until you get most of those chunks out. So those are little pockets of the dry ingredients. Starting to get there slowly.
Perfect.
All right.
Now, that looks great.
So you can see it started to really homogenize almost, get a nice singular texture to it. All right, and then from there, we're gonna go ahead and start adding our finishing ingredients for it.
So I'm gonna use about 4 ounces. This is an 8-ounce can, about 4 ounces of creamed corn. We got a cup of sharp cheddar, although you can use other cheeses. That's just what we have. And here's the fun part. We didn't have jalapenos, but we got some really nice spicy serranos that we're gonna mix into this.
Some beautiful coloration on those.
Why, yes.
You're gonna go ahead and whip it all together. Make sure you get everything mixed in nicely. Sneaking a peek at the game real quick.
Actually, we need to switch channels. I'll take care of that while you continue to entertain.
All right, so you really want to get that mixed in. You don't want to have any spots where it's not fully blended up. You can see that batter's really thickening.
Oh man, that looks great. So, getting a little ahead of what we've been doing, we've got our cast iron skillet in the oven, and we've had it in there at 400 degrees as it heated up. So the skillet will already be nice and hot when we put this in there. That's going to help kind of crisp up the outside of this. So what I'm going to do is just put about a tablespoon of butter in with that in there and let it melt. Just roughly a tablespoon. And when that's done, what we're going to do is grab that pan, pull it out. Sam's going to put the mixture in, smooth it out, and then we're going to put it back in the oven.
Nice and easy game day recipe.
Oh yeah, we're still going here.
So we'll just give that a minute while we catch some of this pregame.
Yeah, you can tell we're hurrying this. Game's about ready to kick off. All right, that should be melted. One of those moments. So here you go. We got the pan with the melted butter in it. So I'm gonna just kind of whisk it around a little bit. All right, Sam, all you, bud.
Now we'll bring it over this way. So we'll go ahead and get that nice and evenly distributed about the pan.
And what happened to our, yes.
See a little bit of browning of that butter.
That's cool. Can you scoop any out?
Yes, sir. So I'll just go ahead and scoop out the remainder. Thicker batter so it loves to stick.
Yep.
All right, beautiful.
All right, that looks great. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna throw this in the oven and we're gonna let it go for at least 15 minutes and then we'll start checking it. And we'll kind of go over that a little bit. Most of you probably done this before. We'll take a toothpick, put it down in there and see if we can pull it out relatively clean. So we'll be back when we're ready to take that out of the oven. Okay, so we did a check at about 15 minutes and it was almost there, but needed a little bit more. So we went about an extra 3. Sam's gonna check it here and see how we are.
Go ahead and do a dip test with your toothpick. Obviously with these, you want to put it in, down to the bottom, typically near the center. You'll pull that back out and you just want to see if you have any moisture, any batter on that. If you can see that, it's looking real clean. So we know that that's good to go.
So what I like to do at the end is I like it on a plate like this. So what we're gonna do is just put it on here. We're gonna flip it over. And there you go. So we'll cut into this later. Promise we'll let you know how it came out. Okay, so yes, I've undergone a wardrobe change, but other than that, we're ready to kind of make the next step here. So I'm gonna cut into this. You see there, you can actually see some of the corn and the serrano chilies. And Sam, all you, bro.
I'm gonna go ahead and give this a quick taste test. It's perfect. Got that crust on it on the bottom, perfectly moist. Jalapenos mixed in, everything, as you can see, evenly spread, not too much in one spot.
Yeah, it was well mixed.
Magnifico.
All right, boom.